the global standard these days is IFRS. So most jurisdictions will either accept IFRS, even if it's not their default, or it's a very simple process to convert from IFRS into the local gap, which it is in some cases. And Shivani, we've talked about that from a US perspective and whatnot. So, and there are certain things that need to be changed to do that. But I guess is in a way you'd kind of liken it to if, we are all speaking English on this call. The English language is the global kind of language that we all use, right? So it's kind of a bit like that with IFRS, where most people will understand IFRS, even if it's not their default go-to. And there may be a few tweaks that need to be made to kind of correct it, if you like, in terms of the terminology that's used. But in the main, that's how it works. So we typically prepare most of the stuff we do under IFRS in the UK, which we do quite a lot of work. We've got UK business. We sometimes use the UK standards because they're simpler for smaller businesses. But so that's that side of it. In terms of the data, it doesn't really make any difference to us from a reporting perspective what the client uses, exchange-wise or blockchain-wise. The challenge is always how you get the data from that system. The data that we need is usually the same, but how people get that data, it can be quite different. Some block explorers are very helpful. Small things like Ethereum's got a kind of balance checker, if you like, where you can go back to a date and you can see on Etherscan the balance on the wallet at that date. Solana, for example, doesn't have that. So, that makes it very difficult to check Solana data back in time because you've got no idea of what the balance was on that day. So, in a sense, the output we need is the same. It's just all these different blockchains and all these different exchanges like to give it us in different formats, and then we've got to fiddle with it to do what we need.